Hello students, this will be the next class of a FRM subject. In my last class I have explained you regarding the fixed floating interest rate swap pricing. So today we are going to discuss about the pricing of interest rate swap at origination, okay, and after origination also. So let's discuss first. At origination the value of floating rate bond is approximately equal to its fixed value. Yes, that will be equal. Bond is nothing but a long term loan which the government bodies will be giving to the general public, that companies and all. So basically it's a long term loan. So the value of floating rate bond is approximately equal to its face value because the next cash flow is always repriced to reflect the level of current interest rate as such. So over here it will be always will be benefited at the origination, because the fixed for floating interest rate swap, where one party in the swap contract promises to make fixed payment to the another party, and another party will be receiving a fixed amount of interest from the same party who has entered into the contract. So the objective here will be to identify the fixed interest rate that is equal to the present value of fixed payments to the present value of variable outcome asset. So now we are going to discuss about the pricing of interest rate swap, which will be repriced, and it reflects the current level of current interest rate asset. So let's discuss that. We'll do a problem on that. A 2-year floating rate bond pays an annual interest. The dollar floating rate is paid for 1 year bond. 1 year. A bond with a face value of 100 with rates are, first year is 5% and FR12 is nothing but 8%. Compute the value of bond at origination, he is asking. So first of all, what we are supposed to calculate over here is we need to calculate the value at origination as such. So over here, it is very important to calculate the value of origination at origination as such. Here, as a question as such, it's very important to understand the pricing model over here at origination. That is nothing but fixed for floating interest rate swap. So it is needed to value off market swaps and to value a swap after its origination also. So why we want to calculate this is the value of floating rate bond is always approximately equal to its place value because it is repriced as such. So this can be explained with this problem very easily as such. Here he said he is considering a 2-year floating rate bond with an annual interest rate payment. The dollar floating coupon payment 1 year hence is based on today's 1 year rate, and here the first value has been given as $100, and R, that is nothing but interest rate of first year, has been given as 5%, whereas forward rate is been already calculated. FR12 is 8%. So compute the value of bond origination he is asking. So what we are supposed to do first is, let's write down the details first of all. So here it's given is R01 has been given as 5%, whereas FR12 has been given as 8%, right? So face value, how much he has given? $100. Now let's calculate the value of the bond. We are calculating value of origination as such. So value of the bond, how you are going to calculate is, you are going to take the 5 divided by 5 is nothing but the interest rate that is being given, 1 plus 0.05, okay, plus 8 divided by, you need to take, you all the time you need to calculate in the last year, you need to add the face value also. 2 years only has been given as such. This is FRA, that is the reason you are going to add the face value also. That is nothing but the bond value that has been given divided by, you need to multiply the interest rate now, 1.05, that is nothing but the same thing, and 1.08, that is nothing but FR that has been given. So this will come to, if you calculate this, it will come to some 100. Okay. So now and what he has given, the continuation of the question, compute the value of the bond, he said. So that is what we got as 100 as such, right? So we got the value as 100. If you multiply this, if you substitute that two values, 5 divided by 1.05 and 108 divided by 1.05 into 1.08, you will get 100. So now let's say that suppose the interest rate changes. Suppose the interest rate changes. Say R0, 1, he has given you, let's say this has been changed to 6% and FR12 has been changed to 7.5%. So now the value of the bond will be, if it is changed, 6 divided by 1.06, that is what, 6, right? So 107.5 divided by 1, because here face value you are taking, and 7.5% will come to 7.5 as such. So 1.06 into 1.075, if you do divided by 100, here also you will get 100. So that is what the statement says. That is what we are proving over here. If you check this, what he has said over here, the value of a floating rate bond is approximately equal to its face value, because the next cash flow is always repriced to the reflect the level of current interest rate only. So here also, if you are doing multiple changes also, the face value is remaining same, 100 only. Even though the interest rates are changing, it's changing, FR is also changing as such, still the value of bond is remaining same as 100 as such. So now let's say what we have done the previous problem, we have taken the interest rate slide, right? If you remember the problem which we have done, that is nothing but, if you check this, if you remember this problem what I have done in my last class, here he has given you interest rates as 5%, 6%, 7.5%. so if you take that again, let's do that. Using this, let's calculate the value at origination. Let the interest rates be R is equal to 5% for my first year, 0, 1 will be first year, 0, 2, 6%, R 0, 3, 7.5%. So here how we are going to do, the value will be because we got a value as 100, so let's take 100 there. If you equate this, let's take for 5 years, this is how you need to do, 1.05. A is nothing but here you need to calculate the fixed rate payment assets. A divided by 1.06 power 2, this is power 1. A divided by 1.0675, sorry, 75 power 3. Last year you need to take 100 assets. As I said, last year you need to add the face value also, 0.75 power 3. Lastly, you need to add the face value also. So if you take a common, you will get 1 by 1.05 power 1 plus 1.06 power 2 plus 1 by 1.075 power 3 plus, if you calculate this, you will get 80.4961. So if you do this again, you will get, if you add here, subtract, it will go 80 will, if you go over here, it will be 19.5039 is equal to 2. If you calculate this all, you will get, if you do the if you take out the LCM and all, you will get 2.647338A. So A is nothing but, if you divide it, you will get 7.36736. So the fixed rate that should be quoted is, fixed rate that could be quoted, fixed rate that has to be quoted is 7.36736. If you see the problem what we have done in my last class, so what we got over here, some 19.50, right, 5039 what we have done, right, that similar one it is. So here, if you, it's just a origination value what we have calculated, it's a theoretical part only. If he says you explain it at origination, you need to do this. Yeah, take the value of the bond and calculate something like this. You need to prove that it is whatever the changes, the interest rates and all could be, but the value of bond is remaining same as 100 as such. Okay, so it has been said, let's interest rates, let's change more, what could be the effect as such. So 100 is nothing but what we are getting the value of the bond. A first, second, third year, like the interest rates for 3 years will be this. So now the fixed rate that has to be quoted has been come around to 7.36736 axis. So this is one problem. Let's move on to the next problem now. For after origination. So after origination, if you see, interest rates will almost certainly change after the swap origination. Interest rates will change. Remember this. If at all he has changing the interest rates, that means he has that definitely will change. At origination will be, that is nothing but when you are entering into the contract, it is will be called as at origination, at the swap origination. When you have already entered in the contract is 1 year something like that, the interest rates will definitely change, then it is called as after origination. As the interest rates changes, swap value changes. Yeah, obviously when you changes, when there is a fluctuation in the interest rate, the swap value also will be changing. Now valuing swaps after they have originated is important for very reasons. Some of them have listed below, that is, firms wish to know their current financial position. Yes, they will be wishing to know their current financial position as such, what is the position of the company, what could be further they can improvise themselves as such, so that they can stay off into the market as such. Even if a swap is off balance sheet transaction, firms will want to know the true value of all their assets and liabilities, even though that are off balance sheet items as such. And secondly, firms wish to know the default risk they face. Means over here, if swap has become a net asset for them, they will become more concerned about the ability of the counterparty to make its payment. Thirdly, many swaps are market to marked to market. That means they require valuing swaps after they have been originated. Okay. So these are the three things why valuing swap is very important after origination also, because to know the firm's financial position, current financial position, how much they are into the default risk assets, and how they are marked to mark assets. Let's do a problem on this. Identify the present value of the leftover fixed cash payments and present value of leftover expected floating payments. The interest rates has been given first year, second year, third year, fourth year as 3%, 5%, 7 and 8%. Now, as I said, after origination, the interest rates will change. Suppose the value of 1 year after the swap is originated, the spot structure, that is nothing but the interest rate, has been changed. So, what could be the value of a fixed rate receiver or a fixed rate payer after origination? We need to calculate over here. Okay. So, let's do this problem. Let me write down the complete information. So, let me write down the heading as valuing of swap after origination as such. Here it is. Let's write down the information that has been given. He is asking us to identify the valuing of swap after origination. He has given the two interest rates, 0.1 is equal to 3%, 0.2 is equal to 5%, 0.3 is equal to 7%, 0.4 is equal to 8%. And if interest rate changes, suppose interest rate changes has been given, right? That information also you need to write down. R 0.1 is equal to 3.5%, R 0.2 is equal to 4%, 5%. This is the question that has been given. And notional principal also, how much he has given. He has given a notional principal of 20 million that I forgot to write it. So here the notional principal has been given as $20 million. Okay. So let's start doing this problem. First of all, you need to calculate the FR you need to calculate FR 3/4 because it's after origination, right? We need to calculate T4. You know how to calculate this, right? I have showed you in my last class. This is nothing but how you're going to do, you know. Before equal to, you need to take fourth year value. After equal to, you need to take third year value. See here it will be 1 plus 0.08 power 4. Yeah, this one what we have done. You need to take the interest rate. Power 4 is nothing but the fourth year, is equal to 1 plus 0.07 power 3. Okay, so 1 plus FR 3 comma 4, that is nothing but we are calculating 3 comma 4 value, FR 3 comma 4. So this will come to some around, if you calculate this, it will come to some around 1.360 is equal to, if you calculate this, 1.07 power 3 will be 1.225 into 1 plus FR 3 comma 4. Yeah, 1.360 divided by 1.225 is equal to 1 plus FR 3 comma 4. If you calculate this, you will get FR 3 comma 4 as 0.11. If you do divide this and minus 1, if you do, you will get 0.11. Now what you are supposed to do, you need to calculate the fixed payment. Fixed payment, you need to start with A. Just now what I have shown you, A is nothing but your fixed pay. Let A be the fixed payment. A divided by 1.03 power 1, yeah, plus A divided by 1.05. You need to take 1 also simultaneously, that's very important. 1 plus 0.05 it is, okay. So power 2 plus A divided by 1.07 divided by cube, okay. So plus A divided by 1.08 power 4 plus 100, you need to take 100 divided by 1 point. Last year you need to add the face value also, 0.8 power 4, okay. Just now what we have done, the same manner you need to do here also. So here it will come to, if you calculate this, you will get, if you subtract, if you divide this, if you do this entire part, you will get some 26.497. that is nothing but 100 minus this value. If you take common this and all, okay, I'll show it again. If you take 100 as common, A as common, 100 is equal to A 1 divided by 1.03 plus 1 divided by 1.05 square plus 1 divided by 1.07 power cube plus 1 divided by 1.08 power 4 plus you will get some around 73.503, okay. If you do this, 100 minus 73 point, you will get some 26.497 is equal to, if you do the entire calculation, you will get you do the entire calculation, you will get some 3.4282. So A will be nothing but your 26.497 divided by 3.4282. So your A will be 7.72%. So 7.72. So now the annual coupon payments will be, it's a fixed payment what we are making, right? So annual fixed payment will be 0.072, that is nothing but this one, into, you need to calculate with the notional, you need to multiply with the notional principal what has been given in the question, okay. 20 million, it is to 26 zeros, so it will come to $1544000, okay. So now what you are going to calculate is, you need to calculate the present value of expected leftover floating payment by using the forward contract. So present value of expected leftover floating payments by using forward contract, okay. So here it will come to, now leftover payments means the interest rates has been changed to 3.5, 4% and 5%, right? So you need to take those first now. So 2 years, 1, 2, 3 it is. So 1 and 2, 2 and 3 you need to do. 0, 1, 2, it's been given 3.5. So now, as I said before, you will take more value. After you will take the lesser value. So here let's take 1 plus 0.0 power 2. That is what has been given, right? Is equal to 1 plus 0.35 power 1. 1 plus fr 1 comma 2. This is what is the formula, right? So here if you calculate this, you will get some then 1.0816 divided by 1.035. Okay, 1 plus fr 1 comma 2. So fr 1 comma 2 will be 0.045024. So now you need to calculate simultaneously for the other one also. So we have done 1 on 2. Now you need to do 2 and 3 also. 2 and 3 means 1 plus 0.05 power 3. What is the second year value? If you see, third year value is 5. That is the reason you need to take 3 is equal to 1 plus 0.04 power 2, 1 plus fr 2 comma 3 it is. Okay, so if you calculate this, it will come to 1.05 power 3, 1.04 power 2 is equal to 1 plus fr 2 comma 3. So it will come to 1.07028 minus 1 is equal to fr 2 comma 3. So fr 2 comma 3, how much you will get is 0.07028. Okay, so now you need to calculate the present value of expected floating receipts. This all is the procedure in this present value of expected floating receipts. Okay, so here it will be first of all you need to take for all the 3 years. First year is 0.035 the interest rate. Okay, into 20 million you need to do $20 million divided by 1 plus 0.035. Okay, so plus second year also you need to, this is the fr values what we are taking. Don't get confused, you are not taking the interest value but the fr value. 0 comma 1 will be fr 0 comma 1 will always be 0.035. what is the first year percentage has been given, that only you need to take fr. So fr 1 comma 2 how much you got, 0.045024. if you see this what we have calculated here, we got 0.045024. so here also you need to take that only into $20 million divided by 1 plus 0.04, right? Second year value is 4% plus third year how much you got, fr 0.07028 into $20 million divided by 1 plus 0.05 power 3. if you calculate this all you will get some around 27,23,083.01. if you multiply and divide you will get this value. So now the last step will be to calculate the difference between present value of payments and present value of receipts. The last step this is. the difference between present value of payments and present value of receipts is the value of swap. That is what is the value of after origination. Okay, so here the present value of receipts, what we got, so receipts how much we got, 27,23083.01 minus payments are how much, payments what we have calculated just now. If you see this payment, what we got is uh, we got this 15,44,000, right? So with this you need to calculate the present value also for this. By calculating the present value, let me show you this. This is just an annual fixed payment it is. Now we need to calculate for all the 3 years. Okay, so let's do the present value of that also. I'm going to show you in a separate. So present value, we got the interest payment as 15,44,000, right? So for that, this is a payment that has to be made. Okay, payment with coupon payment 7.72. We got a payment as 15,44,000 it is. So now you need to calculate the payments for present value also. Just an amount it is. Now we need to calculate the present value. How we are going to do that is 15,54,000 divided by 1 plus 3.5% it is, right? 0.35 per 1 plus 15,44,000 divided by 1 plus 0.04% square plus 15,44,000 divided by 1 plus 0.05 power 3 it is. So if you calculate this, you will get some around $42,53,067, some $485. So this is what we got. So now this we got, right? These are the receipts, these are the payments. Now what we need over here is we have payment receipts. Now we are going to subtract with payments. So we got so that is what receipt we got minus payments are nothing but 42,53,067.485. You will get a negative value as such, minus 15,29,984.475. So this is nothing but, this is a liability that has to be paid. Negative figure means it's a liability for the paying party and it is a profit for the receiving party. Remember this. If the value is negative, it is a liability. If it is a negative, it means it's a liability for the paying party. Liability for paying party and a profit receiving party. So I hope I made it clear the problem.